Good morning. My name is Krist Novoselic, Microsoft shareholder, musician, and co-founder of the band Nirvana. I move proposal number 13 in partnership with investment firm Arjuna Capital and co-filers Open Mic and Echo. We are asking Microsoft to evaluate the risks posed by misinformation and disinformation generated and disseminated through artificial intelligence, and to report on plans to mitigate these risks. As an activist and author on issues of democracy, I'm increasingly concerned with how mis and disinformation are being used to destabilize our society. For years, we've seen the significant proliferation of mis and disinformation through social media platforms, and how the abuse of these platforms has the power to destabilize our public institutions by fostering election disputes, conspiracies, and more. What happens when society relies on information generated through Microsoft's AI-powered Bing, a platform found to produce inaccurate answers 10% of the time? What happens when deep fakes are created of presidential candidates spewing hate speech, or deep fake terrorist attacks are created that look real to the eye? We have already seen generative AI be abused in these ways, distorting the truth with potentially extreme consequences for society. When Microsoft released its generative AI-powered Bing last February, numerous AI experts and investors expressed concern. Many urged Microsoft to pause and consider all the risk associated with this new technology so that the company could establish risk mitigation practices. Yet our company raced forward, releasing this nascent technology without the appropriate guardrails. Generative AI is a game changer. There's no question, but the rush to market seemingly prioritizes short-term profits over long-term success. What happens in 2024, an election year, if races around the world are manipulated using Microsoft technology? What happens 5 years from now, 20 years? As a long-term shareholder, I want Microsoft to succeed over the long run, which means our company must do what it can today to mitigate the generative AI risks of tomorrow. Not only the risk to society, of which there could be many, but to the company itself. Regulatory risk, legal risk, reputational risk. These are only a few. Social media companies have been able to hide behind Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which generally provides immunity for third-party content. But content generated through Microsoft's AI is not third-party generated. It is generated by Microsoft, and as such could carry significant liability. While Microsoft touts its current reporting, these reports are limited to principles and platitudes. They do not outline the concrete actions and accountability that we as investors seek. Thank you.
Thank you each for those presentations. Many of these proposals relate to matters we at Microsoft take very seriously, and where we have a long track record of thoughtful engagement on topics ranging from responsible AI, to protecting fundamental human rights, to environmental sustainability. We place great importance on maintaining the trust of our employees, customers, partners, shareholders, and the public. As we explain in the proxy statement, we believe Microsoft is already providing much of the information that a number of these proposals request. Microsoft is proud to be a leader in the fight against misinformation and disinformation, including risks posed by generative AI. We're reporting on what we're doing through in-depth existing and upcoming voluntary reporting and under government standards like the EU Code of Practice on Disinformation. We've published reports shining a spotlight on disinformation campaigns, and we've called out interference from China, Russia, and other state actors intended to disrupt democratic process elections around the world.